I'm amazed by the fact that just about everything that could have possibly went wrong ended up going wrong when Love returned to school.
For us, control the clock, run the ball, average 4 yards.
When you think of a Stanford running back, who comes to your mind first? Christian McCaffrey, right? Around 10 years ago, he was electric in setting college football on fire because he could do a little bit of everything and he was great at everything. He was the ultimate game changer when it came to all-purpose yards. Let me ask you a question. What made McCaffrey so good? It's not a trick question, by the way. It's because he could beat you in different ways. I'm going to remind some of y'all he almost won the Heisman Trophy in 2015. He finished runner-up to Derrick Henry. And we know how the rest of McCaffrey's story goes. He's one of the top draft picks in the NFL, and even till this day, he's dominating. Here's why I bring his name up. When he left Stanford, nobody, and I mean not a single soul out there, thought Stanford would find anybody as close to McCaffrey anytime soon. He's a generational back. You only get one of those guys every 50 years at max. Well, here's the kicker with that. Only 1 year after McCaffrey departed to the NFL, Stanford found a back that was just as good as him. And actually, if you want to be a nerd about this, according to the stats, he was better. Oh, you don't want to take my word for it? That's fine, I figured. When I resume this video clip, I want you to pay attention just how fast this guy is. It looks like he got shot out of a cannon.
Bryce Love!
I mean, come on now. Where did he come from?
Down the sideline!
You don't need to see the rest of this video clip. He's going to skedaddle to the end zone. Spoiler alert, they're not going to catch him.
And he'll score!
This next video clip I'm about to show you, it's one of my personal favorites.
This is amazing, and look what it produces!
Man, oh man, when he hits that hole like he did, and he had great vision, by the way, there's nobody that's going to stop him. The crazy part is the defensive back here thought he had the angle on him, but he still got outran.
They're trying to catch the backside of Bryce Love, and they don't do it!
Bryce Love was special, really special, and when I say he was just as good as Christian McCaffrey, that's not my humble opinion, it's a cold hard facts when you look at the production. And if you want to take it a step even farther, we can do that. Very similar to his counterpart McCaffrey, Bryce Love finished second in the Heisman Trophy voting as well. This young man was destined for greatness, but only a couple years later, after finishing second in the Heisman voting, he was nowhere to be found. This is easily one of the most bizarre stories I've ever covered. I can't harp on this enough. He finished second in the Heisman voting and was averaging over 8 yards per carry in college. Had over 2,000 rushing yards in a single season, and he didn't even play a snap in the NFL. There's many questions people have been asking about this guy even till this day. But however, it all circles back to the one. And I mean the one big question we're going to try to get to the bottom of in today's video. What really happened to Bryce Love? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all you having a great day. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Major shout out to no specific comment. I've seen like 8, 9, 10 of you request this video, and unfortunately, I was looking for the comments for like 10, 15 minutes, and I couldn't find them. I'm not going to pop any comments up just due to, like I said, can't find them, but if you were one of those people requesting this video, thank you, and hope you're happy. Here we are, we're making it. Don't want to spoil it, but you were in for a treat with this one, and as most of you know, the college football season is right around the corner. We only got maybe 1 to 2 more documentaries max. And for the last documentary we do leading up into the season, I really want it to be a good one, so if you have any recommendations, it better be a good one, by the way, please let me know down below. It can't be a boring one, because come on, man. We got to go out on a bang. I've already jibber-jabbered enough. The intro for this video was way too long. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Strap in, buckle up, get you a snack, get your popcorn, get your favorite meal you like to eat when you watch a video, because trust me, I do the same thing. But all right, Matt, blah, 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 shut the crap up now. Without further ado, let's get into it. Mr. Bryce Love played his high school football in the state of North Carolina, where as a senior, listen to these numbers. He had 2,304 rushing yards, which is impressive in its own right, but really jumped off the board to me was he averaged 11.2 yards per carry. He averaged a first down. Absolutely insane, and oh yeah, by the way, he had 33 touchdowns. Not too shabby. Shockingly enough, he was only a 3-star recruit, but a lot of your big-time schools, they were pursuing him heavy. Ultimately, to make a long story short, you know how this goes, he committed and signed with Stanford. When he arrived on the campus in 2015, there was another, I guess you could say, pretty good running back in front of him, and that was Christian McCaffrey. So by default, he was the backup to McCaffrey for the 2015 and 2016 season. But even in that 2016 year, he had a solid season, and he led the team in rushing 2 times that year, against Notre Dame, in which they won 17-10, and against North Carolina in the bowl game. But here's where things are about to get crazy quick. McCaffrey, he left after 2016, which meant it was going to be Bryce Love's team. No more sharing carries, no more being the backup. He can go out there and he can ball out. And man, oh man, saying he balled out in 2017, that might be understating it. When I tell you this young man went off, I mean he went off. In the first 3 games, Stanford went 1-2, but look at his numbers. $180 against Rice, $160 against top 10 USC, and they lost San Diego State 2017, but he still had 184 yards. Look at this box score against San Diego State. You're probably thinking, oh, well, it took him 30 carries to do that. No. 13 carries for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. He averaged 14.2 yards per carry. My biggest question is, and I assume you're asking the same thing, is why didn't they run the ball more that game or give him more carries? I don't know. If he thought he was having a crazy good start to the season, that was nothing, because in the following week, he had 263 rushing yards against UCLA. And if you thought that was the pinnacle, like Lee Corsa says, not so fast, my friend, because the week after that, he had 301 rushing yards against Arizona State. Yet again, you want to talk about being efficient? That's what he was. It only took him 25 carries to get 301 yards. He averaged 12 yards per carry. The dude was on a heater. I guess you could say next couple of weeks, he had down weeks. He only had 152 rushing yards against Utah and 147 against Oregon. I know, terrible, right? I can't believe he only had 150 yards, but for him, at that point in the season, those were his career lows. The rest of the year was a similar story, and when it was all said and done for that 2017 season, he had 263 carries for 2,118 yards, averaging 8.1 yards per carry with 19 touchdowns. Sheesh, man. Looking back on these numbers, it's remarkable, and it's hard to even fathom. He won the Doak Walker Award, the Lombardi Award, and finished second in Heisman voting. And you would think after what I'm going to label as a phenomenal season like that, he would forego his final year eligibility and declare for the NFL draft. But he didn't. He decided to come back for his senior season in 2018, which would be one of the worst decisions of his life. But it is key to mention, and you got to throw in there, he came back for multiple different reasons. Number 1, he wanted to come back and play with his guys. Number 2 is he wanted to get his degree at Stanford, and if he would have left early, he couldn't have done that. And I know some people's going to say, well, Matt, why didn't he just go back 15 years later after he made it to the NFL? You can always go back to college, and I understand that. I agree. But for whatever reason, I don't know why exactly he wanted to do it. It's his personal choice. I'm not saying it's wrong or right. He wanted to get his degree then and there and get it out the way. Unfortunately, in that 2018 season, it wasn't good. He was battling a knee injury all year long, and in his final game, his final collegiate game, he tore his ACL. This comment right here, it sums it up to a T. I'm amazed by the fact that just about everything that could have possibly went wrong ended up going wrong when Love returned to school. He killed his draft stock, absolutely killed it. If he would have left after his junior year, oh man, he'd have easily been selected late first round, early second. Worst case scenario. But now after this, a lot of NFL teams viewed him as damaged goods, and it's hard to fault him for that. He also tore his ACL, so he couldn't participate in the draft combine stuff, and that hurt him because he was a speed demon. He would have really helped himself out if he could have ran that 40-yard dash. And this should really go to prove how good he was. With everything that went wrong, he still got selected in the 4th round with the 112th overall pick by the Washington Redskins. I know now they're the Commanders. Calm down, partner. Don't cancel me. But back then, they were the Redskins. Now, I wish I could sit up here and give you all these exciting details, but this isn't even long story short. It's what happened. He never got healthy. That same knee that bothered him continued to bother him year after year after year. It eventually got to the point where in 2021, the team was like, yeah, this guy's never going to play with us, and they had no choice but to waive him. Officially, on April 19th in 2021, he was waived. Never even saw any playing time with him whatsoever, and never signed to another team after that. Recently in an interview, he has came out and stated what he's been up to these past couple of years, and Here's what he said, quote unquote. After I took some time off, I started thinking about different avenues and was trying out different cohorts. Whoa. What is that word, cohorts? I've never seen that word in my life. Anyways, continue along to see what I was passionate about. I wanted to figure out ways that I could make a difference. So I started taking different classes, investing in startups, and learning about different technologies. He also added, as long as I'm learning and growing and taking it day by day, I'm happy. In the same article, he has stated that his goals include, just reading off word for word for you guys, one day running his own VC fund or attending medical school and becoming a pediatrician. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to end the video off in an abrupt way, but that's pretty much all there is to it. Like he said, he's taking it one day at a time and he's still focused on his academics. I think this is more than a fair assumption. Bryce Love was always really focused on his academics, and it's not like that was in his back pocket. No, he wanted to pursue that. It wasn't just NFL or bust. That was one of the main reasons he even came back to Stanford in the first place, was to get his degree and finish it. I don't want to say he gave it up easy, but it's more so of he's not just passionate about football, he has multiple passions, and I know many people like that. It's a sad fall from grace, but it seems like he's happy, and I hope he is. If you are curious about him on social media, I did all the research, don't even bother. He doesn't post a single thing. He's extremely quiet. He keeps to himself, which is cool to see. There's many more things I could say. We'll end off the video here. Let me know your thoughts down below. But